Not too long ago, Johnny Depp was at his friend's funeral. His friend was Shane McGowan. If I'm saying that right, I hope I am, no disrespect. The thing is, Shane's wife spoke at the funeral and she said a little thing about Johnny and mentioned Amber. Now, here's the thing, some people are saying, well, she's at a funeral, this and that. I don't know what she's going through. I can't imagine. But even with that, I think she knew what she was saying. And not for nothing, don't overanalyze what I'm going to say right here. She didn't seem crying and cracked up like she couldn't hold herself together. She was speaking very calmly, very coolly, making jokes, even kind of laughing a little bit. So, in this state of mind, I think she kind of knew what she was saying. That's my opinion. I'm not mad. I'm not going to be like, she's terrible, this and that. Let's follow her. Let's criticize her. I'm just saying, I think it was a little off base. You could judge for yourself. I'm not going to play the whole clip because, this is Sky News' clip, but they're pretty cool with copyright stuff. So, all right, let's give it a shot. Here it is.
And I hope you don't mind me saying this, Johnny, but when Johnny had a court case involving his ex-wife, Amber, and Shane had a long conversation with you, didn't he, and urged you to forgive Amber. Yeah. He just thought it was the best thing to do because he just believed genuinely in forgiveness. And I'm sure you have by now, haven't you? Of course you have. Of course you have. But yeah, he just wouldn't hold a grudge against anyone. He just wouldn't see the bad in anyone.
So, there you have it. And as you could tell, she wasn't in bad spirits. I'm sure most of us have been to a funeral, if not all of us. And, there are times where people can't hold it together. They don't want to talk because it's so personal. When Kurt Cobain died, Dave Grohl shut down every reporter who asked him because, Dave was like, that's my friend Kurt. Yeah, he's famous, but that was my actual friend. I can't talk about it. I'm too hurt to talk about it. I remember at certain family funerals of mine, when people spoke, they were so broken up, they couldn't even get it out. But she's just kind of like, didn't you forgive Amber? If she was crying, mascara running down her face, she was sniffling, she couldn't get it out, and she mentioned it, I'd be like, yeah, look at the shape she's in psychologically and things like that. All right, it just came out. But in this case, I don't know, man. It just feels off to me. That's my personal opinion. Let's see what some people are saying. So here's the post I took it from on X, and this first person says, who actually posted it, I'm not going to sit here and judge her for saying what she said about Johnny and Scambler's situation, as I'm sure her heart was in the right place, giving an example of what it means to forgive. To forgive someone, it doesn't mean to forget what the person that wronged you did. Forgiveness is a way of healing, a way of moving forward with life. To hold a grudge means to be stuck in the same, okay, she's going on forever here with her little theory. First of all, yeah, forgiveness doesn't mean you forget, but when you forgive somebody, that means you're cool with them and you're ready to move forward with the relationship on good terms. That's forgiveness, okay? If my son writes on the curtain an ink marker, I'm going to forgive my son. But it's not like I'm going to hold it against him forever and never forget it, if you get what I mean. Yes, I'll always remember my son did that till the day we die, I guess. But I've forgiven him completely and moved forward. It's not like when he wants his first car, I'm going to be like, well, I still remember you drew ink on the curtains, haha. I remember, but I've completely forgiven him. So for Johnny to, I think, actually forgive Amber, he would have to be on good terms with her, be able to hang out with her, make movies together, be like, I forgive you, we're good to go, if you get my drift. If my wife goes out and spends $1,000 on complete bullshit, I'd be pretty freaking mad. But at some point, I'll forgive her. I'm never going to forget, but she's been forgiven to the point where we're not going to think about it. We're going to move on. We'll be on good terms. And in that way, Johnny can never forgive Amber, I don't think. So people are confused about types of forgivenesses. I see these court cases where someone has Unfortunately, a son or daughter murdered, and it's big news on these court YouTube channels, and they say, I forgive the person. But a lot of them forgive the person so they can move on and live their lives, not because they're going to forgive the person and they're all cool, they're good to go. That's not exactly what it is. Carolina says, I respect other opinions, but my personal thoughts are that it was not the time nor the place to make such a statement, especially knowing it was being watched by people all over the world. I just think it was extremely disrespectful and insensitive to Johnny. I tend to agree. And the original poster says, I think it came out wrong. I can't blame her because I can't even begin to imagine what she's going through. And that's what I was getting at. I mean, she didn't seem all broken up and everything. Maybe, look, I only saw that 2 minutes, so there could have been other parts where she was breaking down and crying, and I'm sure she was in worse shape in certain parts of the funeral. But at that time, she was pretty clear. She was pretty joking and clear, and she could have said to herself, hey, wait, maybe I shouldn't say this. Again, I'm not going to be hard on her. I'm not saying, let's get her. She's not on Johnny's side or whatever it is. I'm just saying that it was careless, basically. I think that's a good word. And legally speaking says forgiveness is about you, not the person that wronged you. Wrong. It's about both. It could be about both. There's two types. There's one type of forgiveness, which is for you, which is what I said about the person that murders someone. That forgiveness is for you. You're never going to forgive them. But the forgiveness for both people is what I mentioned, where I might forgive my wife or my son, and they're completely forgiven to move forward. Or a coworker or something does something to me or something, and I'm like, all right, let's just move on with work. Let's move forward like it never happened. But in some cases, when you can't move forward like it never happened, you can't completely forgive the person. That's just how it is. Anyway, I'm on X2. Maybe give me a follow. X Hacker. Maybe not so creative because this channel's E-Hacker, but all right, I guess it kind of matches. And if you're not subscribed here on the YouTube channel, consider it. If you don't, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.